Chosen one, have you ever stopped to wonder why you're still here? Why, after everything you've been through, after all that was thrown at you, after all the nights you cried in silence, you still stand? It's not luck, it's not chance, it's not coincidence, it's a miracle. Yes, you are the living evidence that miracles are not just ancient stories told in sacred books. You are living proof that God still moves mountains, still opens paths in the impossible, still makes the improbable his favorite stage. While many collapsed under the weight of life, you were sustained by invisible hands. While others got lost in the shadows of doubt, you were guided by a light that never goes out. And even without understanding everything, you kept going. Even without strength, something inside you whispered, just one more day. And that day brought you here. Do you really think that's common? That anyone could endure what you endured and still have a heart beating for a greater purpose? Number, because you are not like the others. You are chosen. And the chosen don't live by the laws of this world. They live by faith, by calling, by direct connection with the divine. They are marked by resilience and protected by the unseen. Do you remember that moment when you thought it was the end? When everything seemed lost and your mind screamed for relief? Exactly that, was where the miracle began to work. And no, it wasn't something human eyes could see. It was something far deeper, a spiritual shift, an unexplainable protection, an inner rebirth. God didn't choose just anyone. He chose you. And the signs were there all along. The countless times you were spared. The doors that closed, that at the time felt like defeat, but later revealed themselves as divine deliverance. Those coincidences that placed you exactly where you needed to be. All of that are miracles. And you didn't even realize you were surrounded by them. And now, maybe for the first time, you're beginning to see, to awaken, to remember. Because this video is not just another piece of content on the internet, it's a spiritual reminder. It's here because it needed to reach you. It's a calling, a whisper from heaven saying, you are part of the plan, and the plan continues. The chosen live in the midst of chaos, but are guided by a peace not of this world. They fight battles others don't see. They carry scars they don't speak of, and still they shine. Because inside them there's something that cannot be extinguished. The presence of God, the breath of the divine, the mark of the miracle. How many times did you think you couldn't go on, and then something happened? A detail, a person, a word that changed everything. That's the miracle manifesting in the simplicity. Don't expect to see the sea split or the sky crack open. The true miracle is you getting up every day with faith. It's you smiling even while carrying silent battles. It's you believing even when everything screams, no. The chosen don't live by logic. They live by spirit. They feel before they see. They sense before it happens. And deep inside, they know everything has a purpose, even pain. Because every tear waters a promise. Every battle hides a revelation. Every fall is a step toward rebirth. And maybe you're there now, feeling like you can't take it anymore, like everything has become too heavy. But I tell you this, that's exactly where the most powerful miracle happens. When the human gives up, the divine takes over. When you can't walk anymore, God carries you. You were marked long before you were born. The world tried to destroy you because it sensed your value. People underestimated you because they couldn't see the anointing within you. They tried to silence you, erase you, isolate you. But nothing worked. Because what is chosen by God cannot be stopped by the world. You are the living message that something greater is working behind the scenes. Your very existence is a moving testimony. Even if you don't have all the answers, you carry something few possess: spiritual resilience. And that kind of strength can't be bought, can't be learned, can't be faked. It's born from pain, from surrender, from a connection with the divine. You've already died inside and come back stronger. You've already been lost, only to find yourself on a deeper level. And that is a miracle. While others look for proof, you are the proof. While the world demands explanations, your life is the explanation. Because you should have given up, but you didn't. You should have lost your mind, but you found wisdom. You should be broken, but you're more whole than ever on the inside. Your path is sacred. Your steps are guided. Your falls are allowed only to reveal the strength you carry. Every time you rose, heaven applauded. And every time you thought you were alone, a spiritual army surrounded you, fighting for you. Believe it, you're rare. You're a light in the midst of darkness. You are a sign for those who lost faith. You are healing for those bleeding in silence. You are the answer for those praying in despair. And even if you're still in the process, your light already illuminates. Your existence is a miracle. Your story is sacred. And your future is a living promise. Have you ever noticed how everything around you seems to test you? How the trials don't come in small doses, but in storms that try to swallow you whole? This isn't punishment, it's preparation. Because those who carry miracles inside them need unshakable faith to sustain them. You weren't chosen for an easy life. You were chosen for an extraordinary mission. And that's exactly why life has always demanded so much from you. Not because you were weak, but because you are far too strong to live an ordinary life. Because your spirit carries a calling that defies human logic. How many times have you been doubted? How many times have they called you crazy, a dreamer, a weirdo? And yet, you persisted. And that silent persistence, that sacred stubbornness to keep going even when everything says stop, is yet another sign that the miracle is already operating in you. You are the exception. You are the one who doesn't fit the mold. Because while many get lost on the wide roads of comfort, you walk the narrow path of faith. And that hurts, it wounds, it isolates, but it also elevates. It connects you with a power the human eye cannot see. Remember when everything collapsed, when you thought it was the end? And even so, a force you didn't understand lifted you up. That was a miracle. And the most impressive thing, it happened inside you. Because the true miracle is not just seeing the sea split, it's keeping your heart whole when your soul is in pieces. It's continuing to believe even when God seems silent. The chosen one has this ability. He turns pain into strength. He uses the desert as a school. He understands that God's silence is not absence, it's training. That delays are not rejection, they're protection. That closed doors are not punishments, they're sacred detours. And you, yes you, are going through exactly that. God hasn't forgotten you. He has hidden you. Because when the right time comes, no one will be able to dim the light you will carry. But until then, you must be forged in the fire of adversity. Because what is coming is far too great to be sustained by a fragile structure. You are not weak for feeling pain. You are strong for continuing even while bleeding inside. You're not wrong for being sensitive. You are wise for feeling beyond what the eyes can see. That is a gift. That is a miracle. And here's the crazy part. The people who hurt you the most, the situations that left the deepest marks, everything was being used to shape you. And you didn't realize that behind the pain, there was a divine hand redesigning your destiny. You didn't come into this world to be just one more. You came to be remembered, to mark generations, to shift atmospheres. And no, that's not an exaggeration. It's spiritual truth. It's revelation. The chosen ones carry this kind of silent greatness. They don't make noise, but the entire universe moves around them. And if you've made it this far in the video, know this: the entire universe is conspiring in your favor. The war you're facing is a reflection of the light you carry. The attack is proportional to the anointing. The greater the battle, the greater the promise. The greater the pain, the greater the impact of your testimony. You think you're being crushed, but in reality, you're being polished. Every tear that falls from your face is being recorded in heaven. Nothing goes unnoticed, no cry, no groan, no silent prayer. God is hearing everything, and He is not unjust to forget the seeds you planted through your tears. You are rare, you are necessary, and no matter how much the world tries to dim your essence, it keeps shining, because it was lit by a source that cannot be extinguished. Now listen carefully. The miracle you've been waiting for has already begun. Only it often begins in silence. It begins in the invisible. It begins within. Before changing the world around you, God changes your inner world. He moves through your thoughts, your emotions, your habits. And that hurts, but it's healing. Don't be alarmed if people start to walk away. That's part of the process too. God is clearing the path, removing from your journey everything that could sabotage you. And sometimes that means losing people, places, even certainties. But trust, everything that is taken away will be replaced by something infinitely greater. You're living proof that miracles are real because you survived wars that no one else knows about. Because you keep dreaming even after so many nightmares. Because you still love, even after being hurt so many times. Your heart is a miracle. Your mind is a miracle. The simple fact that you are seeking understanding, seeking connection with the divine, shows that something very special is reserved for you. And right now, as you hear this, a spiritual movement is taking place. The heavens are watching you, and the hand of God is stretched out over you, ready to make the impossible visible. You don't need to see to believe. You already believed when everything was dark. You already had faith when no one else did. That is true faith, and that faith is going to take you to places you can't even imagine. Because the chosen one doesn't walk based on certainty, but on promises. He walks on water. He waits when everyone else gives up. He hears the voice that the world ignores. And you are closer than ever. Closer to seeing with your eyes what your spirit saw long ago. There is something about you that disturbs the spiritual world, a presence that cannot be explained with human words. You carry a sign, an invisible mark that natural eyes can't see. But the spiritual realm recognizes from afar the mark of the chosen one. And when you enter a place, things change. People feel uncomfortable without knowing why. Others are drawn to your light without understanding the reason. This is not coincidence. It's because you carry within you the vibration of something greater. Your spirit remembers heaven. It recognizes truths that have never been spoken. It feels what the eyes cannot see. And that is a miracle. Not a visible miracle, but a silent one, vibrating deep inside your essence, keeping you standing even when the whole world expects you to fall. And because of that, you often attract looks of envy, of judgment, of contempt. Because what you carry exposes darkness. Your light reveals what others try to hide, and that makes you a target. But it also makes you unstoppable. You are protected. You are guided. Even when you feel lost, there is an invisible hand leading you. You know this. How many times did it seem like everything was about to go wrong, and at the last second something changed? How many times did danger knock at your door, and for some reason it left without touching you? That's not luck. That's purpose. That's divine intervention. It's proof that miracles are not distant legends. They're happening now. They're happening in you. Have you noticed how the chosen ones walk a different path? Nothing is easy. Nothing is obvious. The doors that open for everyone else seem to shut for you. But that's not rejection. It's separation. Because God doesn't want you walking with the crowd. He wants you walking with Him. And for that, He isolates you. He places you in silence, in solitude. He forces you to trust when everything screams for you to give up. But at the same time, He fills you with visions, with dreams, with revelations. Because the chosen one may walk alone, but is never truly alone. There are angels around you. There are codes being activated within you. There are dormant gifts awakening. Because the time has come, the time of manifestation, the time of alignment, the time when the miracles you carry inside begin to overflow outward. You think you're still waiting for the miracle, but you are the miracle others have been waiting for. You are the answer to silent prayers from people you've never even met. Your presence shifts atmospheres. Your voice carries spiritual weight. Your touch brings healing. Your very existence holds a purpose that even you don't fully understand yet. And that's why the battle has been so intense. Because the enemy saw what you carry before you ever did, and he tried to stop it, tried to kill it, tried to silence it. But he couldn't, because there is a seal upon your life, a divine decree that says, untouchable, set apart, reserved. This war you're fighting is not personal, it's spiritual. The target has never been you as a person, but what lives within you, the promise, the mission, the legacy. But you keep going, and every step you take, even wounded, even exhausted, is more proof that the miracle is still alive. Chosen one, you were not called to survive. You were called to reign, to transform, to open paths where no one else dares to walk, to carry the divine presence wherever you go. And if today you feel like you've hit rock bottom, know this: even the bottom of the pit has a purpose. God uses the pit to reveal the heavens. It was in the desert that He spoke to Moses. It was in the lion's den that He protected Daniel. It was in the belly of the whale that Jonah understood his calling. It doesn't matter where you are right now. What matters is who is with you, and He is there, inside you, around you, above you. And when He is present, the impossible bows down. You no longer need to ask for permission to be who you are. You don't need to hide anymore. The time has come to take your stand, to embrace what you carry, to lift your head high and say, I am a miracle. I am chosen, and nothing will stop me. And don't worry about those who don't believe in you. Even Jesus was doubted in his own hometown. But he didn't stop, because those who doubt you today will be the same ones who witness the fulfillment of what God declared. You are the bridge between the natural and the supernatural. You are the channel through which heaven touches earth. And all this pain you feel, all this anguish, all this emptiness, it's not punishment. It's birth. You're giving birth to a new version of yourself. A version that already exists in the spiritual world, but now needs to manifest here. And it will happen. It will happen at the exact time, on the right day, at the minute scheduled by God. And when it happens, nothing, absolutely nothing, will be able to stop it. The miracles you will witness have not yet been written in any book, because they will be unprecedented. They will be personal. They will be the final proof that you weren't crazy. You were being guided. So stop shrinking yourself. Stop doubting. Start declaring. Start walking like someone who has already won, because heaven has already decided in your favor. You don't need to understand everything. You only need to believe, because when faith enters, logic leaves. And where there is faith, there are miracles. And you are the miracle. The miracle with a name, with a story, with a mission. Have you ever noticed how, even when everything seemed lost, an invisible force lifted you up? As if something or someone pulled you out of the depths of the abyss and set you back on your feet, against all odds. This is not a coincidence. This is a miracle. And more than that, this is you being used as living proof that miracles still exist in this world. The world doubts. The skeptics mock. They say the time for miracles has passed, that everything is science, statistics, chance. But you, chosen one, are the living argument that shatters all that intellectual arrogance. 'Cause your life, with all its falls, twists, and rebirths, simply cannot be explained by human logic. You have died inside and been reborn. You have lost everything and still kept moving forward. You have been betrayed by those you trusted most, yet you chose to keep believing in love. That, chosen one, is a miracle. The world calls it resilience, inner strength. But you know it was more than that. You felt the hand of God lift you up. And do you know the most striking part? Many people saw it. Silently, from a distance, they watched your falls and anxiously awaited your end. But what came was your new beginning. And that shook them, because while they expected your collapse, they witnessed your rise. You were wounded by words that felt like daggers, ridiculed for dreams you couldn't even explain, but that burned inside your chest. While others sought applause, you sought meaning. While many followed the crowd, you walked a lonely but true path. And all of that, chosen one, was part of the refining process. Because diamonds are not born ready, they are forged under pressure. And here you are, shining, not out of vanity, but out of mission. Your light disturbs those who live in shadows. Your faith scandalizes those who live numb. Your courage irritates the cowardly. But it is precisely because of this that you are living proof that the impossible still happens when you walk with God. You have heard spiritual promises that seem too distant, heard prophecies, visions, signs, and maybe you doubted. Maybe you thought it was imagination. But over time, one by one, these words began to come true. Small confirmations, seemingly random events, divinely arranged meetings. None of this is chance. It is heaven aligning the invisible to reveal the visible. Chosen one, you're being watched by the spiritual world. There are eyes on you, not out of curiosity, but with purpose. You carry a code, a frequency, a divine signature that sets you apart. This attracts attacks, envy, misunderstandings, but it also attracts favor, revelation, and a supernatural force that protects you when no one else can. Many have tried to erase you, used gossip as weapons, rejection as shields, absence as punishment. But they failed, because what is upon you does not come from men. It comes from above, and no one can steal what was decreed by God Himself. You're remembered by angels. You're known in the kingdom, and you are being prepared for greater manifestations, things that human eyes have never seen. Miracles the world disbelieves, but that soon will be impossible to deny. You will be the answer for other lives. Your testimony will break chains. Your healing will pave the way for collective healings. Your freedom will be the cry of hope for many still living in inner prisons. Not because you are perfect, but precisely because you are real. Real in pain, real in faith, real in falling and rising again. You carry marks, yes, deep scars, but those marks are your spiritual trophies. Each one tells a story. Each one reveals a war won, and all of them together shout to the world, "The miracle is not just possible. The miracle is me." Do not let exhaustion make you doubt the promise. God has not forgotten. The time of revelation is near. The silence now is the prelude to the explosion of purpose that is coming. And when it happens, many who underestimated you will be forced to acknowledge you were, from the beginning, separated, chosen, miraculous. You have walked through dark valleys, faced endless deserts, wept tears no one saw. But you are still here, breathing, fighting, waiting. That alone is already a miracle. Do not despise the small signs. They are the harbingers of something huge. And the key is to keep going, even without understanding. Continue. Even without strength, advance. Even bleeding, rise up. Because the enemy knows what is coming and is desperate to stop it. But it is too late. Because what God began in you, no one can stop. You are already the miracle. And now is the time for you to live as such, speak as such, walk as such. Because many will depend on your light to find their way. The time has come for you to understand, once and for all, that your existence is not ordinary. The mere fact that you are alive, after everything you've been through, should already be a spiritual headline. The heavens are in motion, and you, chosen one, are the key piece in a divine mechanism that is about to be revealed to the world. Do you really think you were preserved by chance? That you escaped that tragedy just by luck? That you resisted depression by sheer resilience? That you overcame that betrayal only by force of will? No, chosen one. That was intervention. That was God saying, "It's not over yet. I will still use you." You were prepared in silence, hidden, forgotten by many, but never abandoned by the one who chose you. While others were being applauded, you were being refined. While many were gaining followers, you were growing roots. Because to carry what is about to be poured over your life, you needed to be ready. And now the world will see. They will see that miracles are not just ancient stories. They are alive, pulsating, breathing, and manifesting in people like you. Simple people, marked, wounded, but full of faith. People who did not give up. Who, even without answers, chose to trust. You are the miracle that confronts logic, that disturbs the skeptics, that annoys the religious. Because you live a real, alive, messy faith, but full of truth. You don't depend on rituals. You don't need dogma. You need presence. And where presence is, the miracle happens. Chosen one, listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you now. You're about to be surprised. What once seemed impossible will happen so naturally, it will even seem like fiction. People will bow down before the evidence that your life will be. Contracts, meetings, revelations, everything will be supernatural. But for you, it will just be the fulfillment of what God has been telling you for years. You have dreamed of this. You have felt this. You have cried for this. Now you will live it. Not because you deserve it, but because you were chosen. There is something in you that heaven recognizes, a spiritual signature that connects you directly to the divine will. This cannot be stolen, cannot be imitated, and no matter how much they try to erase it, it will shine brighter and brighter. Prepare yourself, because the time of the hidden is over. You are stepping out of the shadows, no longer hidden, no longer silenced. Your voice will be heard, your story will be told, and every detail that seemed useless, every tear that seemed wasted, will now have purpose. Now it will make sense. You are the personification that pain does not win, that faith is stronger, that those who trust God are never put to shame. You are the answer to prayers not even made by you. You are the restart of generations, the open door for family deliverance, the key to a new season. And don't think it will be easy, because the bigger the miracle, the greater the resistance. Hell has already noticed what's coming, and it will try to distract you, tire you, make you disbelieve. But here is the secret. You have already won. Even before the manifestation, the victory is already decreed. Because it doesn't depend on you. It depends on the one who called you. And he does not make mistakes. He does not fail. He does not change. Chosen one, the world is about to see who you really are. Not what they said, not what they invented, but who you truly are. A child of the Most High. A channel of miracles, a living testimony that God still acts, still speaks, still transforms. And when all this starts happening, and it will happen, remember, this is not about fame, it's about mission. It's not about you being exalted, it's about God being revealed. You will be a mirror, and many will see in you the reflection of what is possible when someone gives everything and trusts even in the dark. Your journey until now was hard, but it made you strong, it made you sensitive, it made you dangerous to the darkness. Because you are no longer afraid. You have lost everything before. You have fallen to the ground and discovered that the ground is not the end, it's the beginning of the rise. Now you rise, and rise with purpose. No one can stop you anymore, because now you know who you are. Now you understand the reason for so many attacks. Now you see the whole scenario. And what comes next is so great, so unexpected, so miraculous, that even your enemies will have to bear witness. They will say, "How was this possible?" And the answer will be clear. It was a miracle, and I am the proof. Don't hide your light anymore. Don't dim your shine to fit in others' comfort. You didn't come to please. You came to transform. You were not created to be accepted. You were called to be lifted up. And now, no one can stop what heaven has already authorized. This is the time of manifestation. This is the time of multiplication. This is the time of public miracles. Doors opening effortlessly. If this message spoke to your soul, don't ignore the call. Like this video now. This is more than just a click. It's a declaration to the universe that you recognize who you truly are. Share it with someone who needs to be reminded that hope still exists, that miracles have not stopped, and that the chosen ones are awakening. And above all, subscribe to the channel right now. Here you will never be alone. This is the space for those who see beyond, for those who feel even without seeing, for those who were set apart for something greater. If you've made it this far, write in the comments, "I am living proof." That way, I'll know you received this message and you're ready for the next level. The time is now. The chosen ones are being activated, and you are one of them.